Hey everyone, welcome back to Pro AV today. One of the most exciting trends that's happened during the pandemic and after is that we've seen a lot of great collaboration in the industry, not only between partners, but actually in the acquisition space as well. To talk about that, I brought on somebody who that impacts directly. That's Sam Taylor, the COO of Exertis Almo. Sam, thanks so much for hopping on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Ben.
Well, Sam, like I mentioned, it's an exciting time in AV right now for a number of different reasons coming out of really the post-pandemic world. But, not the least of which is the official merger of Exertis Almo, two titans in the AV space. Give me just some quick context. What does that mean from your perspective to merge those two companies? What are some of the immediate impacts that people can expect to see here in the short term?
Well, I mean, we're bringing together two great companies and we're using best practices from both companies. So we're becoming better than we each were separately. And combined now, gives us scale. We have 100 salespeople across the U.S. calling on our customer base. We went from 7 warehouses to 14 warehouses that we can draw inventory from for our customers. We used to have about 18 business development managers. Now we have 25 business development managers, which can provide the solutions for our customer base and as an interface for our vendors to our company. So it brings us a lot of scale, and but still keeping a close touch with the customers and having an outbound sales force, which I believe in strongly.
One of the exciting things specifically for the Exertis Almo merger is that Almo for years has done E4. It's one of the cornerstone events in the industry. I think 4 or 5 times a year, you guys really have a chance to pull that off. Is that still an event that you guys are anticipating putting on a regular basis, or is that something that has kind of gone a little bit to the wayside?
Oh, no, anything but by the wayside. It's going to get bigger and better. As a matter of fact, our Chicago E4 in the first week in May is going to be our largest ever. And a lot of we're getting bigger venues so our vendors have more product to show space. We're not particularly going to double the size of our vendors. We all want to keep the vendors that we work with, and partner with fairly tight, and but there will be 4 or 5 new vendors that we didn't have at Almo that I think will be important to our customer base, and we're actually exposing Exertis customers to some 4 or 5 vendors that they didn't have that will be key to them as well. So it's going to be a great event, and we're really looking forward to it.
Well, Sam, we'll kind of stick on the topic of E4 for a second. Had a chance to go down to the Dallas one earlier this year. And it was a great success. You guys, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first official fully hybrid event for you guys, both fully live streamed and fully in person. It was a great success. Is that a model that you anticipate sticking with moving forward?
Sure, because we realize in a regional show, we have a lot of vendors who bring new products out at our E4s now, especially when you're not close to Infocom, where a lot of products get released. So our fall E4s have a lot of new product releases. And so people, besides in that immediate geography, want to see what's going on and want to participate. So when we went hybrid, I think that's a thing we will just that'll be a part of our business practice going forward, so we can let folks in California visit the Boston E4 without having to get on a plane.
Well, you talked about Infocom there for a second. Probably my favorite show in the industry. I'm a little bit biased, but that's okay. Going into a show like Infocom, obviously your presence probably will be a little bit different than it may have been pre-merger. What are some of the things that people can expect to see at a larger show like an Infocom from you guys?
Well, we have a larger booth, but we're still, but we're using a decent part of the booth for meetings with our customers, and we will have some product there on display as well, key partners that we have, and but we will definitely, it'll be kind of if you want us to call it a hybrid booth, it'll be meeting space and product showing.
What'll be interesting, Sam, too, you kind of mentioned is not only having the meeting space, but having to combine some of those displayed products Sticking on the topic of mergers for a second, too, there have been quite a few mergers in AV really since the last full-scale Infocom. You talk about companies like Sharp NEC, even HP and Poly, guys like that. As we step into this world where people are collaborating and really conjoining more than ever, is this something that you anticipate seeing more of, not only at Infocom, where we're seeing those combined presences, but really moving forward in the industry?
Yeah, I do. I mean, this happens across all industries that I've ever been associated with, and the companies merge to get larger scale and be able to help their customers. And I would say, though, that too, Ben, that that's not going to eliminate there's a lot of smaller companies getting into Pro AV. So there's people that were in the general contracting space, electrical contractors that, are getting into Pro AV, and companies that came in through the digital signage world that were marketing companies and saw the value in providing the hardware and full solution. So we do joke here that in 6 years there'll be 2 distributors and 4 customers in Pro AV, and 6 manufacturers. But it's a joke, and not a serious thing, because we do see a lot of new companies entering the space, which is great.
Well, it is such an exciting time to jump into AV, because as we expand into markets like higher education in general, more in the IT space, there's a lot more opportunity for innovation. And that's where it really feels like some of these newer companies have a great opportunity really to make an impact. And, you talk about a company, obviously, like Exertis Almo, who, is looking for companies like that. An example that pops into my mind is Art Media, right? A company that is really on the forefront of holographic and hologram technology. That really wasn't something that was really on the radar even 4 to 5 years ago. Now that innovation is happening, and you guys in a lot of ways have actually fostered the ability through the distributor channel, through the relationship networks, to help support those companies. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we're always looking for new technologies that bring value and will bring business to our partners and help them better serve their customers.
One of the things that really jumps out about the Exertis Almo partnership, Sam, is that you guys were 2 really successful companies kind of on your own, and are really better together, right? We talked about whether that's supporting some of the smaller companies, some of the distributors, but also really supporting our integrator communities and our integrator networks. Talk about those communities specifically for a second, as really they kind of are the unsung heroes of the industry. How important are those integrator communities to you guys over at Exertis Almo?
Oh, they're the backbone of what makes up our customer base. And so, I mean, bringing Exertis in with Almo and having Exertis Almo now, like I said, with all those salespeople, we can be at the resellers location. We can go out with them and support them, and we're always building out our services to help support them with installation services, content creation. We're doing a lot with player configuration for BrightSign, because our resellers don't really want to do it, but the end users need it. So we're helping them out with that too. So those are the kind of solutions we're helping bring to help them, augment their business and make them more profitable.
Sam, you make a great point there, and I appreciate that insight. One of the things I think that our audience probably has a question about is how is the day-to-day going to be different, right? A number of our partners over here at Market Scale and tons of partners in the industry are also partners with Almo and Exertis. What are some of the things that the industry can expect to see on a day-to-day difference? Is it more accessibility to sales engineers, sales teams, or is it something that really they probably won't see tons and tons of change on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I mean, in some ways, they're going to see there's the same rep that they've had before and they've worked with forever. I mean, there was very little account overlap. Of course, in the top 40 or 50 Pro AV integrators, there was overlap, but for the most part, Exertis brought 3,000 unique customers. We brought 3,000 unique customers, and then the crossover customers. So on a day-to-day basis, the customer is going to see the same person, but the same person has a lot more resources behind them now. Exertis didn't sell any services, so now those service offerings will be available to the Exertis former Exertis community, now the Exertis Almo, and they also had 4 or 5 vendors that we really are welcoming in, and that'll help our customer base, and similarly on the other side, they're getting access to companies like Barco for ClickShare that they didn't have before, and that will help their integrators. And then internally we have a larger inside sales team, we have a larger credit team, we have a larger registration team. Everything is larger now. We tried to keep everybody from both companies when we put them together. It wasn't put together to whack jobs and just have a bottom line. It was trying to take the best of both companies and bring all the people together and have a bigger footprint.
Sam, now that a lot of the legwork has been done on the merger side, and you are at a point now where you guys are able to kind of actively participate in the industry, what are some of the things that excite you the most, whether it's the next year, next 5 years for the merger? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to most?
Well, the most exciting thing for me has been to see the teamwork between the two teams coming together. It's like merging 2 sports teams that are rivals on the field, and all of a sudden you've got a combined organization, and the amount of almost instantly there was a little trepidation on both sides for the first month or so. Hey, what's going to happen here? But when it became clear that hey, everybody's going to keep their jobs and we want to move forward with everybody, and then people said, hey, how can we do this? And I just watched this past month as the sharing of Almo sharing systems knowledge and Exertis sharing their knowledge, and it's just and we're just getting started. So I think the 1 + 1 is definitely going to equal 3 or 4 here as we grow together as a team.
Hey, that math, I'm confident in some form or fashion we'll end up checking out. And again, Sam, thanks so much for coming on the show today. It's really been helpful for our audience to hear a little bit more about what it looks like, one of the in post merger world and post acquisition world in AV. And, it's something that everybody that I've talked to, everybody in the industry is really excited about. You guys are going to have a great opportunity to continue to support the industry in a really effective way. Looking forward to seeing you guys out on the trade show circuit throughout the rest of the year and chatting soon. Thanks for coming on, Sam.
Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
And thank you for tuning into Pro AV today. Make sure you tune in next week.